This has been just about my most challenging repair job yet. This is for the same friend whose PS3 I upgraded. This is an HP Compaq nc6320. 60 gig hard drive. I forgot how much RAM it had because I haven't actually been able to get into an operating system yet. I looked in the BIOS, but it has 1.83 gigahertz Pentium M, I believe. It actually is pretty fast for being a Pentium M. Nearly double the speed of my Pentium 3 Mobility ThinkPad I have. And of course, based on the same microarchitecture, and of course, Pentium 3 is nearing the frequency of 2 gigahertz, just get super fast for an old processor like those. And honestly, this thing I think will be quite usable even in a modern day scenario. So what I'm going to do is, because as you can see, this is a business laptop. Like, it gets down to business. That's what business laptops do. Has a card bus slot, a single one, an SD card slot, and if you can't tell, this is probably a very expensive edition back in the day, a smart card reader. Now if you look over here, we have Cat 6 gigabit Ethernet. Holy crap, man. That must have been expensive in 2005. A dial-up modem. We have S-Video 7-pin. The charger port, which the battery does not work, so I need to be careful not to remove that. We have, of course, 15-pin D-sub VGA, whatever you want to call it. Over here we have headphone, microphone jack, 2 USB 1.1 ports, I'm sure. There's another one over there. We have a combo drive here, a CD RW DVD-ROM combo drive, and get this, a 9-pin serial port. And the funny thing is, 9-pin serial port, but I couldn't find a parallel port anywhere on this thing. Maybe it would have been on the docking station, but yeah, it doesn't even actually it does have settings for parallel ports, but there's just not one on it. This belonged to a business, quite obviously. I could not log into any accounts because it couldn't access some sort of domain. And it had some very scary warning about how if I'm unauthorized, I might be monitored while using it, which is completely impossible and complete baloney because it's not even connected to the internet. Whoever typed that, I don't think knew how their monitoring software worked. But yeah, so there was at least not full disk encryption like a lot of businesses used to do, and a lot of them still do, I guess, but Windows XP Professional, no idea what service pack was on it or anything like that because I couldn't sign in. Apparently this thing, while it was still owned by the business, was hit with ransomware, and they just paid up and actually got their stuff back. But of course now couldn't have accessed anything if we'd wanted to because, well, Windows 2000 or Windows 2. Why do I keep saying Windows 2000? Windows XP Professional tends to be quite a bit more strict on its security policies, and I don't think I could have actually accessed any of the folders if I had tried, no matter how hard I tried. I've had that happen to me in the past. I also, by the way, did try switching to the local PC on the domain field and trying administrator and password. Like a lot of businesses very stupidly will leave it. Trying to do so just locked up the entire system. Attempting to log into any account aside from an account on the domain locked up the system, as a matter of fact. So I could not even sign into the guest account, which was probably disabled anyway, but yeah. So that's pretty interesting. Once I get this done, it's going to be repurposed as just a home computer. Not sure what he plans on doing with this because it's so old, but probably YouTube, email, you know, the regular stuff. This is actually going to be his first computer, from what I understand. So and I still have yet to upload the video of me upgrading his hard drive in his PS3, so if you're wondering why you may have missed that memo, that's why. That was like a month ago, too. I'm really slacking off, but that's okay. I'll get that up, hopefully soonish. I want to do it this weekend if I can. But, yeah. So what I'm planning on doing, I actually had to go download Windows XP Professional because I do not own a disk. And the business had deleted the recovery partition, like businesses are so famous for doing, you know. So I couldn't just reinstall the operating system. It does have a key on the bottom of the computer, but whatever copy of Windows XP Professional I downloaded is actually cracked in the most clever way. I do not understand how they pulled this off. First off, it has pretty much all of the possible SCSI and RAID drivers, so it took like a million years to load the disk. It's also almost completely full, like 600 something megabytes. And I did test this in VirtualBox before I ever burned the disk, and it never asked for a product key, never asked me to activate Windows, never did anything of the sort, and never even said this copy of Windows is not genuine or anything. So then I was very confused, so I went ahead and opened Microsoft Update, right? And went ahead and clicked Express Update Install and whatnot, and then it said, oh, you need to validate that this is a genuine copy of Windows. Alright, whatever, right? So then I do that, and it passes WGA. Like what? How does that work? And on top of that, not only did it pass WGA, but it somehow was still actually just activated. Like, it wasn't just that they had worked around that somehow, it was just active. So, to test that theory, first off, I actually just advanced the date to 2020 and restarted the virtual machine. And yet I could still log in, did not do anything. So then I was like, okay, it changed the time back, right? VirtualBox is known to do that. Nope. Time was still, or date was still set to 2020. And I kept getting certificate errors on every website I went to, so I knew it was actually retaining that information, but I was still able to get updates. It really, like, I am appalled that that ever would function at all. So, that's very interesting. There is a valid license on this computer, so it is not pirating. I'm not familiar with that crack. I'm actually not familiar with really any cracks except the, whatever Windows loader thing for Windows 7 where you can set your own system builder information and make it look hilarious. But okay, I want to use that just so I can set the OEM system information to be like the company logo is a photo of John Cena or something stupid like that, and that'd be so funny. At least I think so. Maybe you guys don't. Also, I don't know if you can tell on the video. I don't think you can. But this is a CCFL screen, and it is going out. You can see the flicker, so you know it is a CCFL screen, but it's very unevenly lit. Like, you can tell these corners up here aren't lit real well. And it's really dark. Like unusually dark. And I'm not sure if there's really any way to go around it. I'm sure he can just use it in the dark, and that won't be an issue, but I don't know, man. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting project. And I forgot to say this, I'm going to use the Windows POS Ready 2009 update thing and the unofficial Service Pack 4 and install all of the modifications and stuff for him just because. I don't know. I don't think Microsoft Security Essentials actually still works on XP, but I could be wrong. If there's a way around that, that'd be nice too, because I'd rather have him be using, like, low maintenance malware protection than no malware protection at all. And frankly, this thing does not have the CPU cycles to burn to keep something like a VAST running in the background. Trust me, I've managed to run a VAST on an old Pentium 3, but it was not a good experience. So, I certainly don't plan on doing that again. And yeah, parallel ATA hard drive. Pretty late for those at this point when this computer was built. I don't really know why it uses one, because it was made in 2005. SATA existed by then. I don't know. I don't know what came over them. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.